Hey guys, thanks so much for joining the channel. Valve just came out with a teardown of this deck, and this is the first time we get to see what's inside it. And I'm so excited to talk to you about it. I'm out here in Cali working, and I just wanted to make a quick video, so I'm doing it here in my hotel room. I hope you guys don't mind, but this is super exciting, and I'm so excited to talk to you about it. So let's just jump right into it. This teardown was really showing about how easy it is to tear apart and take out the thumbsticks on, well, mainly it's on one side, but both sides are the same basically. And also how to get to the hard drive, which is a lot of what people had questions about. How hard is it going to do this or that? And to be able to just open it up, show people what's inside of it, I think has made it really exciting. And I'm really excited about it. In fact, the more and more I see stuff about this, the more excited I get about it. And I hope you guys are feeling the same way. Also, these guys are freaking hilarious. I was laughing so many times watching the video. I love it. I love how you have the dichotomy between the techs and the lawyers. So the techs are like, yeah, let's just tear this open and show how cool it is. And the lawyers are like, don't tell people to open this up because we might be held liable and we don't want that. So they're doing one thing and saying another. They're like, okay, whatever you do, don't undo these 4 screws. Then after that, make sure you don't go and undo these inner 4 screws, because then we just pop the whole thing right open, and definitely don't do any of that. Oh man, these guys just crack me up. They also had the wrist strap on, you know, for so you don't shock your system, any static or anything. But they had it over the glove by accident. It was pretty awesome. Also, I loved when they're like showing how, after you go and open it up, I guess it makes it more resistant to dropping. It's a little bit less durable or something. So they're showing them like smashing the crap out of it, which is awesome. Like, these guys have a great sense of humor. I love the people of Valve. They're so cool. Anyway, but let's look into this a little bit deeper, okay? What we can see from this is that the thumbstick is super easy to get out. Once you pop out the back, it's just undoing one connector and then taking out 3 screws, and the whole thing just pops right out. I love how it's super modular, and that is a huge thing. Actually, when you open up, you see everything is really modular inside of it. And because of that, it's gonna be really easy to replace individual components, and that is really, really cool. Also, you can see how easy it is to swap out the hard drive. A lot of people like me was wondering, like, well, are they gonna solder it in? I fear they probably weren't going to, because it's not very Valve-ish. But a lot of people like to solder in their stuff so that people can go and replace it, which means this is going to be super easy to go in there, swap out the hard drive, put in a huge like terabyte one or 3 terabyte one or whatever they're going to have in the future, right? Because they just keep getting bigger and bigger every year. Now, they did go and say some really smart things, like when you go and pop this thing out, like the hard drive, you need to make sure of a whole bunch of different components, because Valve really looked into it. Things like, will it cause interference with the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, because it is right next to both those components. Also, how much battery is it going to drain? How much power draw does it have? Also, what kind of heat is this guy going to cause? Because some of these hard drives cause a lot more heat, and that could be problematic as well for some of the components. It looks like Valve really did a good job in sourcing their pieces, looking at each individual one and seeing which one is going to work the best, have the least amount of power draw, work the best, have less heat. They really put a lot of effort into this, and you can see it from opening this thing up, how meticulous they were with every single part. I also like that you can see there's the battery. It's kind of L-shaped, which is interesting. I guess they probably have like 2 rectangular batteries in tandem right next to each other, which is smart, so you get more battery in there without having to move around components too much. So that is fantastic, and it looks like it's gonna be super easy to remove. Now, you do need to take off the back plate before you go in and remove the battery to remove that one connector. Then after that, I don't know how hard it is to get off. There's probably some adhesive below it. So there'll probably be teardown videos later on about how to remove the battery and replace it. But I don't think it's gonna be too difficult. I think if you know what you're doing, you're probably gonna be fine. Now, at the same time though, if you don't feel comfortable with this, you probably shouldn't be replacing it at all. So there's that. Anyway, but I do like also they're saying that these parts are going to be sourced from Valve, so you can go and order individual like thumbsticks or other components and have them shipped to you, and you can replace it yourself. And that is really cool. So if you do have a problem, you don't necessarily have to ship it back to Valve. However, they did say if you damage anything by taking this apart, it's not going to be covered under warranty. So if you are concerned about warranty, maybe you should send it to Valve and let them do it professionally. But if you feel comfortable, why not? I mean, they basically showed you how to do it. And it doesn't look too difficult. If you feel comfortable with it, you might as well. Now, one thing also about the hard drive that we need to consider is it only takes the 2230 M.2 SSDs. So if you are trying to put in a different one, make sure that if you're ordering one online, that you find the exact same size, because it will not fit in there otherwise. It is a very small space. So you can't just go all willy-nilly on this. And also, I think it's probably going to be a good bet to wait for a little bit, let other people look at things, and people are going to make recommendations online because, of course, they do. Do some research and make sure you get one that's going to work perfectly for it. Because you don't want to go and just throw anything in there because it's going to have problems, I'm sure. They did a lot of research into this, and just throwing in any random hard drive in there probably isn't going to work as well. Anyway, I think this is really cool. I love how we can see the whole back inside of it, see all the different components. And we can see a lot from this. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are really going to be digging into this. I hope they do, because this is going to be awesome. So let's look forward to it. Anyway, I'm hoping you guys are excited for this as I am. I am super excited. And the more and more I learn, the more excited I get. This really answered a lot of questions, like how easy is it to replace the battery? How easy is it to replace the thumbsticks and the hard drive and a lot of the other components as well? So this is really, really informative. Also, I'm really looking forward to seeing other people tear it down when we actually get it down to all the different parts and seeing what else we can find about this. Obviously, they're doing just a small tear down, probably just answer some of the questions that people have. Honestly, I think Valve is awesome in what they're doing. I really support them, and I'm so glad that they care about us and are willing to go and do these sort of things. I haven't seen many other companies that are willing to go down and tear open their own product or show you how to tear down their own product just so you can see what's inside of it and how to replace things. That is so cool. And honestly, I'm not super concerned about the thumbstick drift, but if it does happen, it's gonna be super easy to replace. Or if you do go and drop it, and one of those thumbsticks, because they're popping out, you know, pretty far, one of them might take one for the team and snap off or break or smash in or something. And knowing how easy it is to replace one, that you have to replace the entire motherboard, is really, really awesome. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. I hope you learned as much as I did. I think this is so awesome. And please leave a comment down below if you saw something I didn't, or if you have something that you thought was interesting about the video. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link down below of the original video from Valve so you guys can go and watch it. It was really informative. And please like and subscribe if you have a moment. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys, and have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye.